Thanks for hearing from my channel. Please like, subscribe and support us if you feel interested. Empowerment Arc Chapter 08 The Power in My Hands. It's been a while since I last walked under the sun. Not like I'm a vampire who'd melt or get hurt under the sun, though. Presently, using my monster instincts, I can sense such perilous conduct. However, I'll often do it even if I know it's dangerous. Nothing to laugh about. Really have to improve my self-awareness. The cave seems to be in the middle of some forest. The entrance lay at the base of what you could call a small mountain or a big hill. Sticking out from among tall trees, the hill can be seen from afar. Regardless of description, it's the only place from which you can see the sun. The forest is dim in comparison. Has that magic circle feel to it? A wise man keeps away from danger, as they say. And so, I quickly left that place behind. Since the moment I left the cave, some time had passed. The sun has begun to dip towards the horizon. Seems like I left the cave exactly at noon. You'd be surprised how much I want to align my biological clock with the sun. The moment I thought that, it naturally changed. Was it really so simple? Right now, it's 4 o'clock in the evening. It's time for dinner, but sadly I don't need food. I could eat, but since I don't taste anything, it's pretty wasteful. With thoughts of food, I remembered the monsters I ate in the cave. Though I got my hands on new powers, I have yet to put them to use. Black serpent, heat detection, noxious breath. Centipede monster, paralysis breath. Big spider, sticky thread, steel thread, vampire bat. Vampirism. Ultrasound waves. Carapace lizard, body armor. The black serpents, noxious breath. For example, I can't use at all. Honestly, when the carapace lizard appeared, I had used it. And as a result, as if it weren't armored at all, the lizard had dissolved before my eyes. An extremely gruesome sight. Even remembering makes me want to puke. And that's why I avoid it. If, let's say, adventurers had chanced upon this snake, they'd probably be annihilated before they could even cast a spell. If I were hit by it? I hadn't given it any thought, nor do I want to. Let's just say, thank goodness I shot first. To be hit by such a dangerous breath would be bad. But wait, that isn't something that I want to remember. Since seeing scrambled organs and bloody remains of lizards is rather unpleasant, at least for me, I decided to completely forget about noxious breath. As for what would happen when used as a slime, the radius decreases by at least 1/2. If transformed, the breath spreads out for about 7 to 10 meters. Without mimicking, that is reduced to only 1 meter. Anyways, would you want to see your opponent melt before you? Therefore, this skill I've sealed away. On the other hand, heat detection is simply wonderful. Living things radiate heat. If combined with magic perception, no attack can go unnoticed. However, since humans and upper-class monsters may possess some special skills or magic, this is no reason to let my guard down. Next, about the centipede. Not going to mimic this one because of appearance. The paralysis breath functions the same as the serpent's one. The range is no different, as well. And as I expected, the range decreases to 1 meter when used as a slime. But, it just might be a good skill to use during an ambush. Or so I'd like to say, but if I had to fight an enemy that close, I'd be better off transforming or running. Anything else would result in inevitable defeat. The lizard. It was absorbed after being completely melted by my noxious breath. As such, restoring the body had proved impossible. Anyways, having physical attack resistance kind of makes transforming as pointless. So I tried to use body armor, while slime. My face hardened. As you'd find in some MMOs, I had become a metal slime. My previously light blue body had changed color to a bluish-silver metallic one. However, as I didn't try receiving damage, I don't know how good it actually is. I did gain a pretty color option as a result, though. Maybe I'll use it to surprise some enemy. That's the extent of these 3 species powers. The problem is the remaining 2. They hold very interesting powers. You wonder what's amusing about them. First, the spider. Right. You all know about the hero who possesses spider powers, right? *Hyui. He shoots out thread from his wrists, leaping from building to building. That famous guy. Sticky thread is intended to trap your enemies and prevent them from moving. However, if I were to use it, could I reproduce his movements? Quickly, I put it to the test. Aiming at a large tree. *Hyui. Ellipsis. Byron. Let me explain. Steel thread. Sticky thread. What's that? Don't know anything about a skill that hangs you up on a tree. And so, about steel thread. It is intended to be used to defend against enemy attacks. Or when making a nest, it can be used to increase your advantage, build a maze. But what I tried was to make one thin thread and whip it at a tree. Payan. Buchan. It easily cuts through. And, there's also that. While I can see it pretty easy with my magic perception, it's actually very hard to see with a naked eye. With practice, it might become a dependable weapon. I'll practice with it later. And last up the bat. I expected the most from these skills. Vampirism Skill? By sucking the target's blood I can temporarily gain its abilities. Not a skill to worry about. I mean, Predator is simply better. Would it be too presumptuous to consider vampirism its degraded version? And I don't really want to suck blood. So after learning all I could about it, I neglected vampirism. Rather, the skill that caught my interest was ultrasound waves. More than bewildering the enemy or causing him to faint, the skill can also pinpoint one's location. In my original world, bats got around using the same ability. But don't miss the main point. These are essentially vocal cords. By itself, the skill's nothing special. So my next step became creating the organ necessary for using these sound waves. Luckily, I didn't have to create it from mere imagination and could instead reproduce it based on the bat I had absorbed. With this, I might finally be able to speak. Tired and exhausted, I continued working through the night without an ounce of sleep. Ellipsis. Not that I need any. 3 days and 3 nights of constant research, and behold the results. Take me to your leader. Success. As for how it sounds, have you ever spoken right in front of a fan, that distorted voice? Yeah, that's how it is. The rest can be fixed with minor adjustments. While calming my excitement, I carefully started adjustments. However, I can't seem to use ultrasound waves. I could have sworn I could shoot out sound waves. I was going to call it Sonic Blaster or Sonic Buster. Can't I use those? Less than solution. From skill, ultrasound waves, skill, supreme vibrations, can be derived. However, it cannot be currently acquired. Greater than derive, huh? Probably need to have the skill evolve first. So I lack enough information to successfully derive the next skill. Shame. It would have been nice to have a skill that when fired would resonate with the target and destroy it. To be frank, if I don't get it myself, how can I expect to be able to use it? Seems like I'm a pretty greedy slime. Having many abilities is, without question, a good thing. But, I see no need to hurry. I should just be satisfied with having restored my voice. And so, while trying out various things, I continued down this path. Without any direction in mind. But my goal, I felt, was a good one. Somewhere beyond the forest, there is a city with some nice people with whom I could talk to. In any case, these days have been pretty peaceful. In the caves, I was frequently beset by monsters, but since coming out here, I have yet to fight one. Just this one time. While I was practicing speaking, I was attacked by wolves. I seem to have threatened them with my voice alone. Kya-een. And they ran away with a miserable whimper. Larger than the largest breed of dogs, with a body length of more than 2 meters, and a whole pack of them. What to say? Scared of some lowly slime, how pathetic. As for me, I had no desire to fight. Although I could acquire a sense of smell as a result. That thought piqued my interest, so I kept an eye out, but no wolves were in sight. Actually, there was no monster within 100 meters of me. Somehow, it's like they are fearing me. Why? Yep, definitely, I can sense their fear. Having confirmed that, I felt a group of monsters approaching. Before my eyes, a group of 30 human-like monsters stumbled before me. Small bodies. Crude equipment. Covered in a thin layer of dirt, their expression lacked intelligence. But, not completely barbaric. There were also a few who wore swords, spears, stone axes, and bows. My gray matter, brain cells, quickly saw through to their true identity. The famous monsters that will attack adventurers. Yes, goblins. How stereotypical. And the ones they attack are weak monsters. So myself? But hey, to come with 30 people against a single slime, that's too much. However, somehow I feel no fear. My instincts refuse to fear them. Many of their swords had rusted, and their armor was thin. Some have stitched together some rotting cloth. Compare. The lizard covered in thousands of hard scales, the spider with feet like sharpened blades. The I who have endured those battles, cannot imagine suffering at the hands of these goblins. And in the worst case scenario, I'll just mimic the serpent and take out a few. As I was thinking these things, one of them stepped forward, probably the leader, opened his mouth. Guga. Oh strong one. Does you have any business up ahead? Ha, goblins can talk. I wonder if they can use any of magic perception, and did they just call me strong one? First surround me armed with weapons, and then politely ask a question. What a bunch. I was amused. In any case, it doesn't look like they will attack right away. Will my words reach them? I guess I just have to try. And so, I tried conversing with goblins. Status name. Rimuru Tempest species. Slime divine protection. The Stormcrest titles. None magic. None skills. Unique skill, Great Sage. Unique skill, Predator. Slime-specific skills, Dissolve, Absorb, Regenerate. Extra skill, Water manipulation. Extra skill, Magic perception. Acquired skills, Black Serpent, Heat detection, Noxious breath. Centipede, Paralysis breath. Spider, Sticky thread, Steel threat. Bat, Ultrasound waves. Lizard, Body armor. Resistances. Thermal fluctuation resistance X. Physical attack resistance. Pain resistance. Electricity resistance. Paralysis resistance. Thanks for hearing from my channel. Please like, subscribe and support us if you feel interested.